Hey everybody, Sinister Lex here. Today we're going to talk about websites. I want to talk about websites real quick. If you're a freelancer and you are trying to make yourself stand out, do you have a website? If not, why not? I want to bring up these couple of points, and we're bringing them to you from a slightly new perspective because I felt like having some green lights in my freelance videos. So, if you don't like it, oh well. Freaking websites. You guys, some of you have websites, some of you don't have websites. And if you are a freelancer in 2017 and beyond, you need some kind of place for when people hit your profile, they're going to browse through your profile. And then they're going to go down to the bottom and they're going to look at your portfolio. And depending on what you do, what kind of work you do, what kind of freelancer you are, you may need a website to expand on that portfolio. Because your portfolio can't show people everything you do. Does every freelancer need a website? I don't think so. If you are someone who only designs logos, you don't need a website. You can put enough in your portfolio. If you are someone who offers editing services, you may not need a website. You can just have examples of your past work. But if you're a copywriter, you're a web designer, you're an app developer, you are a brand specialist, any of these things, that requires a creative eye, that requires you to have a specialized niche and a target audience. In fact, I would even expand that to say if you're any freelancer who intends to work with a target audience, an ideal client, to become a specialist, to become an expert in your field, you definitely need a website. Whether it's WordPress, Squarespace, something else, whatever it is, you need to have one. And I'm not talking about like a website that is shitty that's built by you. You need to have something that looks good. It can't just be a website. It needs to be a good website. It needs to be an example of you, an extension of you and who you are and the kind of people you work with and work for, so that you can set yourself apart. For those of you who don't know, I have multiple websites. I have multiple websites targeting my niche. And whenever they hit my profile and they come and view me, they come and see me, they are able to see that I have this website and this website and this website all in that niche. And I've also worked on this one, and this one for my past clients. So everything that they see is specifically targeted toward that one niche, that one audience, and they know right away this guy is not like anybody else. He's very different because everyone else has all these random samples. This guy has multiple samples of exactly what I'm looking for. So they can click on the website, they can visit my website, and when they do that, they see exactly what they expect to see. They see examples, they see my design, my writing style, all of these things are right there on the website. They can see actual proof of what I can do and that I help people in my niche. And I think that this is an important factor to consider if you want to start setting yourself apart. I was out there looking for a designer this morning on Upwork. So I went and posted a job through Upwork for a designer. And then I went on the hunt for a designer through Upwork profiles. I started searching through freelance profiles. I had a very difficult time coming across anyone who even looked remotely like they could do what I needed them to do. I need a very specialized type of branding. I need it in a specialized niche. I need someone who has experience in that. And I typed that in and I couldn't find anyone. I found a bunch of people listing a bunch of different skills that have to do with branding. You know, the me focus, it's all right there. They are talking about stuff they do. A lot of them didn't even have portfolio samples. So I think even having portfolio samples sets you apart. But if you have a website, it's a little bit more of an investment on your part, but it is also professionalizing your brand. You as a person, you as a company, you as a business, whatever you want to call yourself, it's more professional as long as your website doesn't suck. So, have a portfolio at least. I guess I want to throw that out there. If you don't have portfolio pieces, you need them, and you need multiple pages, because I skim through these, and when I'm looking for someone to do something for me, when I'm looking to pay someone a lot of money to do something, anything over $500, I want to see samples. I want to see work you've done. I don't know how much I'm ready to spend on design yet or branding yet, but I know that I'm not willing to spend any money on you if I can't see work you've done and proof that you're the kind of person who can help me do exactly what I need to do. So scrolling through these things, if I see your portfolio and it has less than a page of examples and there's nothing really there that proves what you can do, then I'm just going to skip right over you. I already did that a bunch of times this morning. And in fact, I looked through pages. I looked through at least 8, maybe 10 pages of freelancers. And out of those, I invited 2. I might have invited 3, but I think I only invited 2. So we're talking 10 pages of freelancers, I invited 2 who I thought might be a fit, although they didn't have the exact skill sets listed in their portfolio. They had examples, they were a little bit closer to what I was looking for, so they might be a fit. So out of all those 10 pages, 2 people stood out. I invited them to the job. They might show up. I don't know. They might not have time. They might not even be able to interview. And even after we interview, they might not get the job depending on what they can do. All of this it just had me thinking, like, if you want to be a specialist, if you want to step up to that next level, if you want to be the expert in your niche, your freelance niche, if you want to be the expert in whatever your field is, and you're thinking about having a target client, you went over my training last week's training, and we talked about target clients, ideal clients, things like that, then you need to have at least a website for yourself, maybe even multiple websites. And I do mine through SiteGround. I have stuff set up through SiteGround. They've kind of pissed me off a little bit recently, but we're on cool ground right now. SiteGround's pretty easy to work with. There's others like Bluehost, GoDaddy. For hosting, you have to get hosting for that. Websites, you have to install WordPress if you're going to use WordPress. You can also use Squarespace. That's an option for people who don't know much about web design, I guess. I haven't really checked them out. Build simple websites. But you don't need much. You just need like a one-page website. It doesn't have to be a big complex website. It doesn't have to be super flashy. It just needs to prove that you are someone who is specifically working in the industry that you're trying to help. So as you're ready, when you get ready to start moving up, expanding, getting those, $500 retainer rates, $1,000 a month retainer rates, anything like that and beyond, then a website is going to help you do that. So I wanted to put that in front of your attention today because I did not see that with a lot of people. And even the ones where I did, the few times that I saw it, they weren't specifically in my niche. So if I saw anyone even, in fact, let me tell you this. This morning, I got a whole bunch of people applying from India. I ignored all of them. Like, they were all gone. I had one person from, there was one person from somewhere else, and then there was one person from the Philippines. Now, the Philippines guy, I actually gave him an interview. So I messaged him. Why? Well, his stuff wasn't that great to me, but I did see one example of something in my niche and not a similar style to what I'm going for, but similar branding to what I think the right kind of person would have. So it was a targeted example of the exact niche that I'm looking for. And that guy's from the Philippines. And I don't give a shit. I don't care if he's from the Philippines or the US if he can do the job. So I interviewed him. So he's on my list to interview, and then I have 2 people I messaged, and that's where we stand right now. So that guy might get the job. He might get those higher rates for that, only because he had examples to show. Now, I think it's more important, though, that you have a website, at least a one-page. Maybe even, it doesn't have to be a website. Maybe there's simpler ways to do it. You could go through lead pages and have a landing page set up that's in that niche. I don't know if that would be cheaper or not. I can't remember what I pay for lead pages. I don't know. It's not that much, but for the price of lead pages, you could probably just buy a year's worth of hosting at SiteGround, buy a theme like Divi theme on WordPress, and then just build as many websites as you want. Just a thought. I don't know. Throwing it out there. If you don't have a website, you should probably consider it if you want to become a specialist, if you want to become the expert in your niche, if you want to grow and expand and get more professional rates. You have to look like a professional. You have to appear to be the professional, the expert in your niche and industry. And until you do that, you're going to continue being a low-paid freelancer. I promise you, because I see it every day. That's what happens. Unless you have a fuck ton of experience and background and history that is like working for the biggest companies on the planet, You can expect that if you're just jumping into this and you don't have a lot, you don't have that education, you don't have any background, work experience, you're new to copywriting or whatever skill it is you're doing, and you're not focusing on a niche, you're not going to make high pay. You're going to make low pay. It's 2017, guys. Coming up on 2018, another 5-6 months, and everything's changing. You have to constantly be adapting, getting better. You have to constantly be moving forward. You have to constantly be adjusting the way that you operate so that you can get that higher pay. And yeah, you have to be the best. You have to be better than everybody else. So that's all I got for this one, guys. Let me know if you have any questions about websites or anything. Drop them down below. And subscribe if you want to see more. Drop me a like if you like this video. I'm Sinister Lex, and I'll see you next time.